there, my name is Terry Smith. I'm the owner of Adorable Deco Decor, where we make and sell wreaths and other types of home decor. And I also work toward inspiring others to make their own designs through my wreath making group. It's going to be one of those days, guys. So today I'm down here in the workshop. I need to make a St. Patrick's Day wreath. Actually, usually every year I don't make a whole lot of those because typically they're not a big seller. But they've been selling just like that this year, so I need to get another couple of them in my shop because it's going to be here in a month or so. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I've already done part of the work. We're going to be using a 14-inch grapevine wreath, and I'm going to put a sign over here. And so I cleaned up this side of the wreath. I've already put a wreath hanger on. And I started preparing the sign, and then I realized I forgot to do part of it. I have gone ahead. Like I said, my plan is to put the sign right in this area, and I want this kind of free-flowing. It does move, but it's going to have some support over here by part of the wreath. So I'm going to put a pipe cleaner here, here, and here. I like to have 3 points of contact with my signs so that they don't wobble. But like I said, I'm not going to do anything with this. I'm just going to let it stay free flowing. Excuse me. However, there was a wreath hanger or a sign hanger up here. It was kind of some cheap looking wire, and I didn't want to keep that on there. So I went ahead, I cut that off, but yet that left a hole. So I took some, just some jute string and made a knot into it so that it kind of has the rustic look. I'm going to replace this bow, but just to give you an idea, just kind of tie it all in. So I put those strings there, but I forgot to glue them on the back. So I didn't realize that until I just now pulled it up. So let me get, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each one of these. It won't take a whole lot to tack them down. Usually I just put a little glue like this. Hey Susan, how are you? Thank you for joining in. And then I just take my pliers and kind of hold them down there. Try and keep my fingers out of it. But you can see I put the pipe cleaners on, I put a couple of staples in, and then just covered it with glue. So, all right, and this is going to be like I said, a grapevine wreath. I'm going to use some florals and some greenery, and I am going to put a bow on it also, and I have already started the bow. My feeling is I'm going to put it here, and we'll tidy it up a little bit. I just was going to leave the tails because I don't know what I want to do with it. But after I got to thinking about it, I'll probably put some tails going up also. But I'll show you how we can add those also. So let me see if this is dry. Oh, and I was going to show you too, I always put a business card. If you're a wreath maker to sell, I always try to put a business card on my wreath signs if there's going to be part of it showing in the back. Just a kind of a marketing thing so that if they forget where they bought the wreath, or sometimes maybe there's a guest that wants to know where the wreath was bought, but they don't want to ask the homeowner, they can peek at that. So, okay. Hey, Teresa, how are you? All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll put the sign on here. I always try to put the biggest item on first. I'm gonna zoom in. Ernestine from Arizona, are you guys freezing out there too? I tell you. Hey, and there's Teresa from North Carolina. I don't think you guys are as cold as we are just yet, but maybe it's going to be that way. I think where the whole country is going to be in a deep freeze. North Carolina, that's a pretty state, though. I always loved driving through it. We used to go to South Carolina a lot. We'd go down there to Charleston, and we'd always go through Asheville and that kind of thing to get to Charleston. It's always very pretty. All right, I'm just taking the pipe cleaners and running them right straight through the grapevine. once I get them started here, then it'll be a lot easier when I can let go of this sign. So is everybody having a great Valentine's Day? Ours had been pretty uneventful until, like I said, until we found out we're going to maybe go and see our granddaughter. Usually when I've made this wreath before, I've had this sign. I looked on the price tag. I've had this sign since 2018, but I didn't know it because I had I usually put this on a deco mesh wreath, and I'd actually had a request for another one of them last year, and I told them I was out of the sign. And when I was cleaning my craft room after Christmas, I found it. I thought there I'd lost a sale because I told her I couldn't get that sign anymore. I don't know if they have these every year or not. Does anybody else know? You guys know if... Oh, Susan says North Carolina's most of rain. Okay. Well, that's better than ice. But does anybody know if Hobby Lobby has these every year? Because I don't know. All right, I'm going to look at this and make sure it's straight. I think we're pretty good. Now, it also has an extra hole right here. It looks like, I don't know, it was probably part of the manufacturing, but there's a little hole right here. I'll have to cover that up somehow. I don't know if I'll just put some spackling in it and paint over it. I don't know, but I would not leave that there, okay, if I was going to sell it, which I am. Okay? All right, so that's what we have so far. Now, next I want to go ahead and I'm going to put my bow on. Hey, Gladys and Peggy. And like I said, I planned on it being over here, and I just basically chose my ribbons based on, number one, the fact that it's St. Patrick's Day. Number two, I just took it off of this sign, and it's a pretty rustic sign. Again, pretend like that bow's not there. Actually, let's go ahead and take that off. It's pretty pitiful looking. Well, I may not be able to get it off easily. Might have to pull out my hairdryer, but I'll do that in a minute. But anyway, I wanted something a little bit rustic, and I knew I had this polka dot ribbon with the kind of a canvas or natural burlap looking backing, and so I paired it with this 2.5-inch burlap and just one loop on each side, and then I've got this 1.5-inch plaid St. Patrick's ribbon, and then I paired it with this lime green, again a St. Patrick's ribbon collar, so to speak, and I put that in there just to kind of brighten it up just a little bit, just to give it a little pop, because one of the flowers I'm kind of wanting to use, I have 2 of these lime green peonies left over, and I thought that would pair well with the lime green and the ribbon. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to put this on here, and I want it, even though my sign's all the way here, I want to kind of make a diagonal off of this welcome part here. Okay, so I'm going to put it right about right here. Now I wouldn't want to put it down here because to me that would make that wreath look pretty heavy. But if I put it up here, it kind of, like I said, it kind of balances out the welcome sign. And again, I'm just going to run this pipe cleaner right straight through the grapevine. Sometimes they kind of double up on themselves, and that's too far up. I want it more toward the inside of the wreath. There we go. And I'm just going to take the pipe cleaner and kind of wrap it around some of the grapevine. So is anybody out there doing anything fun for Valentine's Day? Probably not a whole lot of going out between the COVID and the weather, I bet. It's going to be a low-key Valentine's for most of us. All right, now I can already tell I'm going to have to trim down these tails quite a bit. Let me get my bow loops situated first. And usually when I just do the one loop on either side, I just make all the colors diagonal. I want to make sure that all the colors are visible. I don't leave them typically just one on top of each other. I really like that plaid ribbon. The coloring's perfect with this sign. All right, and I would be sure that I would put this natural color ribbon the opposite of here. I wouldn't place that right on top of this. Okay? All right, and I feel like I want some of these, like I said, I want some of these tails going up. I could always come back here and add them, but if we can do it from just what we have, that's the best way to go at this point. Sometimes you just got to keep working with it until you get it to do what you want it to. Okay. All right, I'm going to trim down these ribbons now. And this one I'm going to, let's see. You know what? I want more of this plaid ribbon down here, so I'm just going to come back and we'll place another plaid tail up there. I just want to be sure I get that color up there. And I can't dovetail this burlap because it will fray, so we're just going to trim it straight across and I'll curl it up under itself. I want to be sure that my sign's not being covered though. Bring a little bit longer down here. Now, before I would finish, I would make sure to come back here and seal the ends of this a little bit better. I wouldn't just leave it just curled, but right now we're just doing it for, just till we figure out what we're going to do. All right, let me trim these two off. It's not a very good dovetail. I just like to be sure that I have some of the color coming up and out of the wreath. Okay. All right. I think that looks pretty good right there for right now. Hey. Okay. All right. Now, like I said, we'll come back and I'll decide if I'm pretty sure I want to put more of the plaid up top, but we'll stop right there for right now. All right. Now, let me see what I'm going to do with these flowers. I don't know, we might be a little bit crowded to be able to do everything that I wanted to. We may have to change plans. Might have been better off to have used a 16 or an 18-inch wreath for what I had in mind, but it's all right. We'll keep going for right now. I'm going to turn it toward me and see what it looks like. Yeah, those flowers are going to be too big. I think I'm going to have to go with my tulips. I also brought some mini tulips as a backup plan. Like I said, if I wanted to use these, the scale's just off for the small of a wreath. I mean, it's going to end up being a decent sized wreath, but I only have a 14-inch wreath form. And when I put these on here with all these big elements, it's just going to be too crowded. Okay, so we'll go with plan B, which, well, I forgot. I also found these Gerber daisies that I forgot I had. Let me see. Now those might be about the right size. I'm not sure I like the green. The green is almost like a completely different shade of green. But we might throw in a couple of the white ones. We're going to try those on for size. All right. And I might even leave the greenery on for, well, no, I don't really like it. Let's scratch that idea. Now, I don't mind those so much, but definitely, like I said, definitely the peonies are not going to work. So, all right, well, let's start out. I've got a plan now, I think. And let's go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of greenery on here. And what I like to do is place a little bit of ficus. And I have a variegated ficus today. And the reason I chose that was just to kind of calm down all the green going on. I do have also a solid green ficus leaf. But I just thought that would be too much. Okay. All right, and this is going to be like a backdrop for our flowers. I'm just going to put those on there and make sure I like them, which I think I do. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just place some of these just to outline, and it kind of gives a perimeter of your wreath also. It kind of establishes the size, so to speak, and where you want to make your outline with your flowers. We want to make sure that we bend those and shape them just like we would our Christmas tree. Make sure you fluff it. So, you know, these guys have been riding on a long boat from China. They're all squashed. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Oh, Rhea says it's 82 there. Ah, she feels bad. Well, that's okay, Rhea. Hey, Ethel May. All right, let's go in here. Sneak that right up in there. And I'm going to bring just a little bit down here. This might be too little. I was looking at it. It might be too little. Yeah, I want a little bit to go here behind the sign also. We need one more bunch. And I just stuck it in those leaves there. We'll have to Had 2 leaves that I got into with the glue. If you take it off right away, it comes right off. But if you wait, you're not going to get it off. Okay. I might end up coming back down here a little bit also, but I'm going to wait on that for just right now. Okay. Gosh, these leaves look almost like a weed. Looks like a dandelion leaf. So you're okay. All right, now I'm going to add just a little bit more greenery, and I have this just a short bladed grass. I always like to add more than one type of greenery. Just like when you're walking outside, you don't see just one kind of green. You see a variety. We want the same thing in our wreaths or our floral arrangements. I'm just pushing all these little blades of grass up toward the top so that I have a little bit of space to, it looks like I'll probably have to put a pick on them. The stem is pretty short. And if you don't have enough of the stem going into your wreath, then it's going to fall out. And I'm just going to use my steel pick machine today. I think it on top of this will give me enough length. Now, if say it was down to here, I'd have to use a wooden floral pick so that I would have enough length going into my grapevine. But now I've added another inch or two, or probably about an inch and a half. If we wanted to, I was just looking at this, if we wanted to, we wouldn't even really have to add any florals. I am going to, but we wouldn't have to, being that it's St. Patrick's Day and all. Hey Terry, how are you? And there's Sherry and Linda. I'm just putting some picks on these. I'll start out with 4 of them. That might not be enough. Let's see, probably out here. Yeah, I think I'll probably need at least a couple more. Okay, and I need a little bit right up in this area. There we go. So how about you guys? Do you guys decorate for St. Patrick's Day? Like I said, I typically don't sell a lot of St. Patrick's Day wreaths, but I have this year. So I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be like normal, so I've been needing to make some more. I thought since it's Valentine's Day, the next holiday is going to be St. Patrick's, so I better get my rear end in gear. You always want to have more than one selection whenever if you have an Etsy shop or a craft store where the customer has more than one choice. Be like going into a shoe store and they only have one pair of shoes, right? Okay, good. I'm just going to kind of mirror what I've done up here. Hey Mary, how are you? Yes, of course Nancy. I forgot Nancy. That's right. Nancy's Irish. So of course she decorates for St. Patrick's Day. Now, usually we don't too much around here, but I guess with all the bars probably will be, I don't know if they'll be open or not. I don't know this year. Who knows what's going to happen, right? It's anybody's guess. But usually the bars are pretty busy around here for St. Patrick's Day. That's about it. Not that I'd know. Okay. All right. I want to put one more piece of that greenery right down here on the underneath. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm decorating and placing items out, you know, flush with the wreath outward, and then we'll put a little bit down here also. Just you know, you don't want to ignore any part of your wreath. You want to make sure that it has depth and dimension, just like you would if you were, again, as you were going outside. You look. Yeah, right about in this area. And I know we have spaces, but we'll come back after we've placed some florals and we'll decide if we need to do anything more with it. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it toward me so I can look here. We need a little bit behind the bow yet. Let's see if I can put one of these shorter ones there. And probably need to put just a few of the ficus leaves there also. I was going to look and see if I had a short bunch of them. Like that. And again, since I have such a short stem, I need to put a pick on it. There we go. I may have to come back and put a little glue on that tail if he won't stay where I want him to. Okay, now let me see if I can get this bow off of here, because I'm definitely not going to leave that on there. It just looks so pitiful. Yeah, I'm going to get my hair dryer. That's how I usually take things off like this, but let me show you. On my plug-in. Oh, which I can't reach. Hang on, let me, another one. All right, cover your ears because it's going to be loud. And it just softens that glue, and then you take those things right off. I'm not going to worry about getting the glue off because I plan on putting something there. So, okay. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to decide on some florals now. Like I said, I kind of like these little white Gerber daisies. I don't know. I think I'm going to like the tulips better, though. I have some mini tulips. I have some green and I have some ivory colored. Actually, the ivory might look a little bit better with the sign and with the burlap. Okay? So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with the green first. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nancy's wanting to know where I got the ficus leaves, and I got these at Michael's, actually. I ordered them online, and I liked them so well. They have two colors. They have the solid, just a solid green, and then they have the variegated, and I liked them so well I ordered some more. And you know, Michael's can have some pretty good sales and free shipping and all that kind of stuff if you time it right. So, all right. Let's get some of these tulips going. I'm not going to put a whole lot in here. I don't want to get it terribly crowded. So does anybody else keep a hairdryer in their craft room? Yeah. Actually I have an Easter wreath attachment that I buy. Well, I haven't bought any for a while because I bought so many to start with, but it has a god-awful bow, and I needed to take it off and just figured it out. I thought, well, just melt that. Let's just melt that glue a little bit, soften it up, and it comes right off. I'm going to try to place these in bunches, like pairs of two, so I'm kind of trying to stagger them just a little bit. And I'm going to need to put a pick on them because, again, our stem is so thin, right? So I'm just going to get a few bunches together here. And some of them have 2 flowers, some of them have 3. And I always try to, you know, again, they've traveled from China, so I always try to, you know, pull off the misshapen ones if I can't rescue them. But I buy these Michael's tulips every year. We don't have a Michael's where I live, so I always have to order. I wish I could, or had one closer so I could actually see and touch some of their stuff. Because you hate to buy florals online, but these, I already knew about these, so. All right, let's see, we've got 4 bunches, so let's go ahead and place these. Then that'll give me an idea how many I need. And I always start out with, you know, close to the bow, and then I kind of work my way outward. Okay. All right, so we put a bunch here, so we'll come down here and kind of mirror it. Go. All right, so then let's come up here. I want this to be a little bit lighter than down here. I want you know, if it's going to be heavy, it needs to be heavy in the bottom, not on the top. That's always been my preference anyway. Okay. And again, I'm fluffing this bunch just like I would with the greenery. You don't want it all just one plane. All right, so let's go ahead down here. Oh, Debbie, you're always nervous ordering online, but I can tell you, anytime I've ordered from Kali, I've not been disappointed. And really, generally, I think if you order from a wreath maker, you know, we don't pick out things we don't like, right? So. And I know for myself and probably everybody else involved, I know I have some stuff that I don't like, but I wouldn't dare sell it to my community. I wouldn't, you know, I donate it. That's what I do. I donate it to Goodwill typically. There's always somebody, you know, somebody that appreciates them. Okay. I feel like I got those in there a little bit crowded. And so since it's wired, I can just bend it up and away. I just didn't want those all crowded in there. like that. So we need to bring just a few of them down here. I have to cut off a few more. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. One thing I did realize what I need a few more just plain white little flowers. It's hard to find really nice ones that don't look cheap or inexpensive. All right, now this is what I was talking about, this little mangled tulip I've got here. See how that is? It's just terrible. Some of these you can just pop them right up back into place if you grab a hold of the bottom of them, just kind of put them back in place. And that didn't shape up too bad, right? Sometimes I need to glue it just a little bit. Just put a little dab of glue and put him back next to his neighbor. That one turned out just fine, so we'll go ahead and use him. Now, if I could not have repaired him, I would have had to take him off though, right? Okay. All right, now I just want to put some right down here. I just dip my thumb in the glue. Hang on, I got a mess here. You guys ever do that? I just dip my whole thumb right down in that glue. Now, if that had been hot glue from a glue gun, I'd be sweating it right now, but that's one thing I really like about my glue pot is I don't, I used to go around all the time and have blisters. I'd just get one healed and then I'd get another one, but the glue pot, it's warm, but it doesn't blister you. I suppose it could if you got the temperature high enough, but all you want your glue just melted enough to where it's like a honey consistency. Still got glue there. All right, I'm going to pull it toward me so I can kind of look here. All right, I feel like I need maybe a couple of tulips peeking out back here behind the bow. Be right there. I might have cut that too short. We'll see. Let me see what I did here. Nope, it's just right. All right, so I'm going to bring another one up here. And I just want one of them that has the 2 tulips with it. I don't want a whole bunch there. Let's see, where is it? Well, I guess this one has 3 on each one of them, so we'll just get rid of one of them. All right, now like I said, I want just a few back up here. I left the 3 on there. I might leave it like that, I don't know. We'll just see what it looks like. We'll just leave it. If I decide that we don't like it later, then we can always take it out, right? Okay. All right, I think that's enough of the green. I want to pop in just a few of the white or the ivory colored tulips just to kind of quiet down all the green we've got going on, okay? If I had something like baby's breath or like a small Queen Anne's lace, foxtail, Zorro, something like, or Zorro, not Zorro, oh shoot, yarrow, I couldn't think of the right word. I would use that, but I don't have any. So, All right, let me get just a few bunches off of here. Oh, Zuli. Oh, you know what? I've migrated over, haven't I? So thank you for telling me that. Probably the last time I kicked it with my feet, I did that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get about, I don't know, about 4. These tulips are not as good. I'm trying to find some that have decent flower heads, but now I keep on saying I wish I could find me a cameraman. I can't get my husband to volunteer. You guys will love him. He's a good guy and funny, but he's not interested because it's hard to create and pay attention to where the camera is and all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, I'm going to find some decent buds here. I think these guys will work. And these, I'm just going to place these in one bunch at a time or one stem at a time, because I don't want as many, and I don't want it as concentrated, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put some picks on these. I'm pulling off the ruined heads. Okay. All right, I think that's enough now. And like I said, I'm not going to put nearly as many of these as I did the green. So I know I want one right in here. Okay. So we'll come down here. Since we went up here, we'll come down here. I gotta keep on checking the. Dawn's wanting to know where I got my pick, my steel pick machine, and I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and I got it several years ago. And back then, you could use your 40% coupon. I guess that some places you can and some places you can't. I lucked out and they did allow me to use my 40% coupon because they can be kind of pricey. I know some people have had luck getting them off eBay. If you want to go that route, I know I was told that Sam's also has them and they're a little bit less expensive as what Hobby Lobby has. So you might try those. They're a lifesaver. If you do a lot of florals, they are a lifesaver. All right, now I'm going to come up this direction a little bit. Okay, so we'll come in here. And then, like I said, I want to make sure that I don't cover up my sign. Okay? All right, I feel like we need one more of the white down in here deep, kind of deep. Need to find one with a long stem. long stem and decent florals. And sometimes if I've got one of the flowers that are bad and the other one is good, I just take this one off and I put some hot glue on it. And then I bring him back here, and now I've got a whole head of tulips that are nice. Okay. All right, but like I said, I feel like I need a few of the white ones down in here. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it toward me now and kind of take a look at it. I'm going to shorten this lime green ribbon here. Oh, Zuli says that she's noticed that the tulip heads come off easy. Yeah, if they come off, I wish they would just hot glue, put glue on them, but they don't. And it's not just, I mean, it's any flowers, not just these tulips. They do come off pretty easy, but and it just doesn't matter where you get them, unfortunately. I'm going to shorten this one up too a little bit. All right, we'll just keep fussing with these tails till we get them the way we want them. I feel like I need just a little bit more greenery down here. I'm happy with the way that looks. I don't want to crowd it at all. I want it to be nice and light, airy. I'm going to put just a hair more greenery down here. I feel like there's a little bit of a hole. If you guys can see what I'm talking about. Maybe a piece there and maybe a piece. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to put a piece there and then we'll decide. I always thought, if I ever wanted some extra money or something like that, just get a part-time job there. But I thought I would just eat up all my profits. I'd be out in there, buying every single day. So hard to control yourself once you walk in there. And it doesn't matter what season either. All right. There we go. I like that. All right. And maybe one more piece right in front of that. Right in this area right here. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn it toward me now and see if we're done on this end here. Might come back and put a little bit of something in the bow. I like it. I like it. Let me put a little bit of something in the bow here. And then we got to fix this little place where the, you know, where I took this bow off. I have to decide what I'm going to do there. And I talked about maybe putting some more tails there. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave it just like it is. Kind of like it the way it looks. There. I just got to keep trying it on until I find what I want. There we go. Okay. All right, now let's see what we're going to do here. You know, I almost feel like I need is a smaller piece of a little burlap, like a 1.5 inch burlap. I don't want this here. Or we could use this. I don't think that's going to be right. I think I need some burlap there. Let me run, I'm going to run right back there and get just a narrow burlap. I'll be right back. I thought I was. I forgot I'm almost out of this. I think we have enough to make a tiny bow though. Yeah. Let's just make a little tiny bow. Actually, I had this set out so that I'd remember to order some more, and I forgot. So, actually, I was glad that I decided this, that we needed this. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Zuli's wanting to know if this is one sign or two. Zuli, this actually it's one sign, but this is loose. This is just here with some springs. So it's just one sign. It's a Hobby Lobby sign. Might be just a little bit too big. I'm just taking about a 1/2 inch off of that bow. Okay. I think this is going to be perfect. I'm loving it. Does anybody know what time it is? Am I doing okay on time? I need to put a clock down here in my workshop, but I just never have gotten around to it. It's so easy to come down here and just completely lose track of time. You guys do that? No, I do. All right, now this comes the part where we got to be careful we don't burn ourselves, because I'm using my hot glue gun. And I'm putting a decent amount of glue. Yeah. I'm just going to hold this here for a minute, and then I'll add a little bit more hot glue when I can let go of it. Okay, so Zule says it's 5 o'clock. in the Caribbean. I think we're on the same time, Zuli. But thank you. I've got a date at 5 o'clock. I'll have to glad we're about done here. Okay. Oops. And I let that glue run down, so I'm just going to take that off and wipe it off right now. Like I said, if you get it right early, you can get it off of there pretty easily. Okay. See how much better that looks though than that other thing we had on there? All right, I'm just gonna trim these tails. And probably gonna bring back, I'll get like an emerald green pom-pom, a tiny pom-pom. I've got a stack of them over there. And I'll probably put that there in the center. But I think it turned out super cute. I love it. I love it. All right. Oh, and Dawn says it's 3 o'clock in Iowa. Well, Zilla, you must be an hour. Okay. Okay, that's right. And Patricia says it's 4 o'clock. Okay, Mary says it's 4 o'clock. Okay. All right, so we got time then. Okay, good deal. All right, well, I think that's it. I love it. I really do. I wasn't really sure how it would look with all tulips. Like I said, if I had a different light colored flower, I probably would have gone with that. But the tulips, I think it looks fine, and it's, they're perfect for spring, right? So, okay. All right, okay, well, that's all I have for you today. If you're interested in learning how to do these kinds of designs on a regular basis, my design school is open right now. It's Terry's Wreath Works. And actually, let me put a post here in the comments. Forgot to do that. And it'll take you for all the information. And if you want to sign up, we'd be happy to have you. We've got a great bunch of gals in there, and now we've got a gentleman also, Joey. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. And thanks again, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.